Hello friends and welcome back. Today I have 3 more indie games no one has heard of. I was given these games for free for review purposes and the first 2 of them are still in early access, so if any of these seem interesting to you, be sure to show support by wishlisting these games on Steam with the links I have provided in the description. Hashtag not sponsored, I just like supporting independent developers. PS, only like 15% of my viewers are subbed, so hit that subscribe button for more future indie game content. Without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, we have Forward Defense. Forward Defense is a top-down 3D strategy defense game. It's an early access, so definitely still a diamond in the rough. There are several unique maps to choose from with the same basic functionality. Enemies come in from one side of the map, and your goal is to stop them from reaching the other side of the map. The map designs are great. I'm definitely getting war-torn vibes. I'm so convinced that many families have lost their homes. Anyway, each map has green zones where you place your units, limiting where you can put them so you can't put them directly in the roads in the way of the enemy convoys. You start with a budget and you get extra money each round you survive. The stronger units cost more, but you can't rely on all of the same ones as you need some variety to cover each other's weaknesses like limited range or slow rate of fire. You'll also need to put up walls to protect your units from direct lines of fire, but there's one major oversight. You can't rotate the walls to protect your sides. I get that this game is called Forward Defense, but this is taking it a little too literally. My second complaint is on most maps there are a lot of spawn points to cover, and you can't always cover all of them effectively due to limited range or fire rate of your units. Most times, you don't get enough money to purchase units to cover every possible angle, and if you spread your units thin and buy the cheapest units to spread your dollar as much as possible, you might not do enough damage to stop them before they slip by. It could be my lack of strategy game brain. The last time I played a defense game like this was playing Bloons Tower Defense in high school on school computers. In a recent update though, you can now manually target enemy units if you want to focus fire, which helps add more engagement and player agency instead of just sitting there and watching. Though if that's what you're into, you can still sit back and relax. Voice lines have also been added, which is a wonderful addition as it makes your units feel like they're being operated by humans and they're not just soulless metal husks. I think this game has the potential to be good, but as it is now, I might wait for more content updates before purchasing, but even then, a price of $7 US is a fair price if this is your type of game. The developer is still adding updates, so there's still much more to come, so keep an eye out for this one. Next, we have Bounties of Babylon. I've had the pleasure of being given a key to playtest this upcoming game that hasn't yet released in early access. It reminds me a lot of Settlers of Catan. However, instead of the tiles being predetermined at the start of play, you're given tiles every round and place them on your own on your turn. Some major changes have been made since the first version of this playtest. There used to be 5 different types of fruit to collect, but now there are only 2. The maps are now smaller and the game takes place over 3 rounds instead of one long game over a much larger map. I think these changes are great as you can get through a round quicker, and with fewer resource tiles to choose from, it's harder to get screwed with the RNG of the tiles you're given. Also, now instead of needing to reach a certain amount of points to win, you have a limited number of turns to reach a point goal, really making you strategize more. But the goals are still very much achievable thanks to the smaller map. The resource tiles look exactly the same except for the color, so it is my hope that they get some more visual differences when the game fully releases to help determine the differences between them. Anyway, at the beginning of the game you start with a few tiles on your side, and taking those into account, you choose 2 of the 3 tiles at the beginning of your turn to place. Ideally, you'll place tiles of the same resource type next to each other. After you place a tile, you roll a die to see how many tiles you can move, and where you land, you collect resources from the tiles immediately surrounding you. Except if they are connected to tiles of the same type, you gain resources from all of them at once. Once you harvest these islands, it will take a few turns for them to regrow, but some fruits grow quicker than others. So there's a balance to be found so you can collect a bunch of resources at once, but you don't necessarily want to set your opponent up to steal your resources before you get to them. Thankfully, you get 2 ships to help remedy this. You have to be thoughtful in your island placement as the channels of water through them determine the direction you move through them. You don't want to accidentally block yourself off from a trader. The trader's offers and required resources will change every couple of turns, so it's a good idea to have a diverse portfolio of resources. There's also a bit of a luck aspect, as sometimes a tile will start glittering and you might get some valuable treasure to trade for points. There are also quests you can complete to earn points, also similar to Settlers of Catan. They are, as of right now, harvest 4 fruits of a single type all at once, and find and loot a treasure. And the state of the game is now, it is vastly improved from what I played previously and is still very enjoyable. However, the AI you play against is not very smart and is easy to beat. This game is still in development and the developer is taking heed of feedback from the playtesters, so I'm sure it's going to get very good very quickly, so keep an eye out for this game when it releases. Lastly, we have Professor Goodboi's Ballistics. This is a 2D physics-based puzzle game. There are 42 unique and creative puzzles to solve with increasing difficulty as you progress. Each area comes with a new tool you combine with things you learned in previous levels in order to solve it. Some of these are real brain scratchers and I had some trouble with them. As a bonus little minigame, there are cats hidden in each level, which is a fun little addition of I Spy. I don't want to show much footage so I don't spoil too many of the puzzle solutions, so I'll end this section by saying I really did enjoy every level of this game. None of the levels felt like they had a cheap solution, and I recommend this to those who enjoy puzzle games for the fair price of $6 US. At the time of releasing this video, it's on sale for about $4, so check it out before February 2nd to get the discount. And that's all I have for this video. If you enjoyed, please like and subscribe. Your guys' support means a lot to me. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one.